Are you a veteran or a surviving spouse of a veteran? If so, you probably qualify to get a VA loan to buy a house. Today we're going to go over the benefits of a VA loan, and then we're going to go over the process to actually get a VA loan. By the way, stay to the end of this video and you'll see 3 tips on the best way to get a VA loan. Thanks, right now. I purchased my first home back in the mid-1980s with a VA loan. It was a great way to get into a home with no down payment. Unfortunately for veterans, during the last 3 years, VA loan buyers, and frankly FHA buyers too, were not as attractive to sellers as a buyer coming to them with a conventional loan. So I've not seen many buyers using the excellent VA program, last several years. That changed in June of 2022 as the market corrected from several years of incredibly low interest rates and very low inventories. Sellers are now willing to go with a VA buyer. Let's go over the benefits and process of getting a VA loan for your next house. VA loans in a nutshell. VA loans were created by the original GI Bill of 1944. The goal was to help generations of veterans and their families to enjoy the dream of home ownership and the opportunity to retain their homes in times of temporary financial hardship. Essentially, the VA home loan guarantee is an agreement that the VA will reimburse the lender, banks, mortgage companies, etc., in the event that the veteran defaults due to foreclosure. This lowers the risk to the mortgage company and basically takes the place of a large down payment. Who is eligible for a VA home loan? Active duty service members, veterans with discharges other than dishonorable, National Guard and Reserve members, and certain eligible spouses. Is there a fee to use a VA loan? Well, yes, there is a fee to use a VA loan, but there's a long list of exemptions such as service-connected disabilities, Purple Hearts, etc. In any case, many sellers and some lenders are willing to cover the VA funding fee. Loan limits. There is no loan limit if the service member has full VA entitlement. If you currently have a home which has a VA loan on it, you will most likely need to sell that home. But there are exceptions, and your lender can tell you about them. So what are the benefits of getting a VA loan? Well, here's 7 key benefits. The biggest benefit is that there's no down payment required. This can save you tens of thousands of dollars. Many buyers I've spoken with have held off buying a home so they could save up more for a down payment. Well, in many cases, while they did that, the interest rates rose, especially over the last several months, and home prices also rose. The second major benefit is that there are no loan amount limits, as long as you qualify to make the monthly payment. And this is in any location in the United States. A third benefit is that the VA program offers similar competitive rates as the other types of loans, such as FHA and conventional. Number 4 would be that you don't have to pay PMI, which is private mortgage insurance. This is a real biggie, because that could be a couple $100s a month. PMI is a type of insurance that protects the lender if the borrower ends up not being able to pay the mortgage. It is usually required on conventional loans if the down payment is less than 20% of the total mortgage amount. By not having to pay PMI, you could save a ton of money on your monthly payment. Number 5 would be that you typically have lower closing costs than with a normal loan. And some of these closing costs can be paid by the seller or by the lender. Number 6 would be that there's no penalty to pay the loan off early. And here's a biggie, number 7, the VA loan is assumable. So this is a really big deal if interest rates go back to the 1980s. My first home was 11%, where we had stagflation and interest rates got up to 16 to 18% for new loans. Most loans in those days were assumable, and very few are assumable today. So if you had a VA loan of 7%, it's assumable, and the interest rates went through the roof, they were 18% again like the 1980s. The buyer of your home would only have to cover the difference between the amount that he assumed from you and the new price. One caveat, if the new buyer is not a veteran, then your VA eligibility would be locked up until the new buyer paid off the loan. So talk to your lender if this is an issue. So here's an outline for the VA home buying process. First, you need to apply for your VA home loan certificate of eligibility, which you would do through your lender. By the way, I highly recommend working with local lenders who have done a lot of VA loans. It makes the process a lot easier for everybody involved. Then you would need to meet all the normal lender buying requirements, such as credit score, sufficient monthly income, and any other requirements they may have. But one note is that the VA does not have a minimum credit score requirement, but your lender may for the certain types of loans that you want to get. The VA requires that you live in the home that you're buying, so this is not a good tool if you just want to buy an investment home to rent out. VA loans can be used for 15 or 30-year mortgages, and the most common loan is a fixed-rate loan, but you could also use it for an adjustable rate loan if you want. If you're using your benefit to buy a condo, that condo complex or unit must be VA approved, and there are lists of condos and condo units that your lender and your realtor can get for you. The VA funding fee, if you're required to pay one, can be included in the purchase amount. There are other prepaid costs that the buyer is going to need to have sufficient funds to cover at closing, such as discount points, prepaid property taxes, appraisal, title insurance, and other fees. Your lender will be able to outline those costs to you. In all cases, you should be prepared to have at least an earnest money deposit, which is refundable before certain deadlines, and for the home inspection, which you should purchase during your initial due diligence period after you go under contract. So what will the lender require? Well, most lenders will require documents to estimate the amount that they can lend you. These are documents such as your certificate of eligibility, your uniform residential loan application, a Freddie Mac Form 65, proof of income, which is 2 years minimum employment, pay stubs, including LES for military employment, W-2 forms or income tax returns, bank statements, proof of other income, including investments, rental properties, etc., documentation of outstanding debts, including student loans, car loans, child support, alimony, and other debts. Your lender is going to use this information to determine if your other debts may affect your ability to make monthly mortgage payments. If applicable, the homeowners or condominium association forms, and if applicable, a gift letter for gift funds provided by somebody not involved with the sale. Okay, so here are 3 tips in getting a VA loan. 1, be sure your lender is knowledgeable on VA loans and has the staff that can handle the paperwork. Number 2, advise your realtor that you're using a VA loan. Try to pick a realtor who has experience with VA loans. 3, your realtor should have ways to mitigate any concern the seller has over government loans such as VA and FHA. You don't want your offer to not be accepted because the seller does not understand the VA process, which is a bit different than a conventional loan process. The VA loan program has helped millions of veterans buy homes and enjoy the benefit of home ownership. You deserve this program for the sacrifices you have made in keeping our country safe. Make use of it if it's the best option for you. Be sure to click on the link below to get a free federal VA home buying guide. Thanks and have a great day. See ya.